Hey, look, so Puppet's costume is straight up a reference to the Nier series. I mean, look at that. The laddie straight up looks like 2B. And then here we have straight up the 2B avatar, which we'll be using for a second. Copied city, I don't know. I've never played the Nier game, so I don't know for sure. So in the island dragon roars. In this, the email stuff must have been a reference to Persona, eh? Well, anyway, hello. It's me, Mystery, and let's get in the game. I'll be back there in a sec. Okay, we're close enough. I decided to go for a different bag for a second, and I just realized that Whale of Fortune sounds a lot like Wheel of Fortune, like the game show, and I'm finding that a little bit funny. Okay. Last time we were about to explore the spire after some weird puppet monster. We threw a sword at it because I'm deciding to make, Yukio our character for this, a very odd character. Choosing, like, some of the more, like, funny decisions, or decisions I'm finding funny. Or just jerky. Like last episode, we basically just...
You stand before the Spirit Spire, said to have been erected to protect the island. Yet with the villagers having accepted ruination, it now stands forlorn, an edifice without a purpose.
Damn, he really loves the word forlorn. He used it twice yesterday. Now he's using it once today.
This place, so named for the spirits themselves, is one that the villagers do not enter.
Interesting.
Despite this, you say to yourself, I have to get rid of the monster, and decide to profane the place with your presence.
The 2B pawn looks really weird. Okay. Yeah, I don't think I'll be keeping that pawn for long, or that... I don't think we'll be using... Yeah, that works. Pawn. Ooh. Oh, cool, a door. Let's go. No, go through the door. Sheesh. You enter spirit? Spiregate.
There are some words etched into the door, but they are weathered and difficult to read.
Hold on, the bottom of my foot is itchy for some reason.
Worried though you are about whatever the words might say, you nonetheless try pushing the handle. With some protest, the door groans open.
Oh, you who enters spirit. Okay, so we don't know what the threat will be. You shall be possessed by a weird puppet monster. No, don't jump on the wall. Hey, a puppet.
You spy the shadow of the monster you encountered earlier. Your insight that it had taken refuge in the spire has proven a good one. The shadow notices your presence and flies off at blinding speed.
Don't kill me! I'm a monster trying to kill other monsters!
A rapid escape, though it looks like you're back to chasing after a shadow.
No! Don't kill me! I'm a cannibalistic monster. I only eat other monsters.
I don't know. Pursue it up the spire. We'll be doing something similar eventually. But let's explore the place. I mean, why not, right? Especially since no monsters are, like, rolling into town trying to ruin our lives yet. So, no, don't jump on the... That's not how that works. Oh. Straight up useless. Great. Always love those kinds of arts. Always love those sections to buildings. Okay. Go to the second floor? Sure, why not? Interesting first floor. Looks like an inverse helmet almost.
You survey your surroundings, relying on the shafts of sunlight filtering in through the windows. However, You're unable to see the monster from where you are.
That's not good. Searching for signs of the monster. It should be about the same size as the first one, right? Yeah. Yeah, it's about there. Okay. I don't want to quite encounter the monster. Not for scaredy reasons, I just want to explore the place first. I have this problem. That, especially in like voice of cards, that I really want to... By the way, that was an altar up there. So we should probably make sure we get everything else first. Anyway, I just like trying to uncover all the cards. Especially since sometimes they're treasures. Feels like I'm an old pro at this game for some reason. I mean... Or at this series. I guess I sort of am? Not? Because I've only played, Well, I've only played the other game in the series. Oh, I guess we'll go here. Oh. Oh, so I guess we gotta jump on the altar then.
In the back of the large hall, there is an altar, which evinces a sense of deep mystery.
Yeah, what did they sacrifice if they did?
The altar is wrought of a strange kind of stone. Its surface
Looks like
polished
marble, sir.
smooth. It looks as though it's meant for use in some important ritual.
That's what I figured.
You approach the altar to check that there are no places for monsters to hide themselves away inside it.
It opens up suddenly! Maiden here. Who's there? Is it a monster? Let's go with who's there.
In reply to the mysterious and unidentifiable voice that suddenly rent the silence, you ask in a sharp tone, "Who's there?"
Who's charging for silence? Damn, they're really paying for... They make you pay for everything nowadays. I, spirit.
You strain your ears, trying to make out the broken snippets of words echoing off the chamber walls.
Oh, do we have to... Do the maidens get sacrificed?
After speaking a word that rings familiar to your ears, Laddie, the voice becomes impossible to hear.
Oh, that ain't good.
It cannot be. Could you truly have heard the voice of the spirit from the maiden's myth passed down on the island?
Oh.
All signs of the monster you were in pursuit of seem to have vanished. For the time being, you decide to return to the village and report your success.
You go back?
What in the world could that voice have been?
The puppet? You go back to the village and everybody's guts are like spilled all over the floor. Inform the Omega Mayor about the Omega Village and its state, I guess. I don't know. About my monster hunting trip that only... We sadly only killed one monster. We'll get him next time. Sound really messed up. On your way out, there becomes a massive monster. Oh my gosh, it's a human! I don't know. I like those sorts of like, Oh yeah, I changed the table. You may have seen this. I know in Nier Automata there are a lot of robots, so I don't know if that works in the... I don't know if this is quite a reference to Nier, but the puppet and the 2B definitely are. Anyway, as I was saying, I kind of like, gosh, there's sorts of comics that, like, make fun of certain ideas by, like, completely flipping it on its head. Like that, comic strip of Calvin and Hobbes where some people are, like, working in an office just casually, and then a couple deer just burst in and, like, shoot one of the workers. Whoa. It sounds a lot more morbid than it really is. No, it's just as morbid as it really is.
When you arrive
It's
at
a
the
little bit
mayor's
funny,
house,
Anyway.
there is a young visitor already there. She looks to be making an impassioned request of grief.
Little girl down there?
In a wearied voice, Grieth replies, "There is no longer any maiden in our village."
I know maiden really gets thrown around as like a fantasy word for a girl, but you know, you technically have a few maidens around you.
Admonished, the girl leaves the house with disappointment written across her expression.
I guess here, maiden has a lot more of a magical weight to it.
You inform the mayor that you've taken care of the monsters around town.
We'll see. You look like you have evil escaping.
As thanks for completing the job, the mayor hands you a basket of fruit.
That ain't gonna be like amazingly nutritious, is it?
Oh, good, you think to yourself. Another day, another basket of fruit.
That good or bad, sir? Because it definitely... I mean, you're not gonna get scurvy, but... you might not... There are definitely some things you're probably gonna want that you won't get from fruit. Anyway, as you encounter various cards during your adventure, they are added to your collection in the menu. You can read special stories about the yes, I know this project of gallop. I don't know. Just get my tiny 2B ass over to well, 2-bit ass over to the Sacred Grotto to share in my sickness. I don't know. You can jump over to yeah. I've literally been doing that the entire time. I know I figured it out late in when I was playing through the Isle Dragon Roars, but I figured it out right away here. I remember that. Hey laddie, what's up?
You re-enter the grotto
hello there,
and announce
laddie.
your return.
Hello.
On a normal day, Laddie would already have zipped over to greet you. But today, nothing.
Oh. She's dead. I'm just kidding. Speak with Laddie in the secret grotto. Last episode, we learned that she couldn't speak, so, I don't know if she's much for conversations, sir. But let's try. You know, perhaps she did
You
learn.
walk over to Laddie and discover that she is sound asleep.
Don't do anything you'll regret, sir. Especially if
Life
you
in the
wanna
grotto is not
keep
one
around.
of creature comforts. Rather, a fair few inconveniences.
Yep.
You've tried several times to bring Laddie to the village, but she was adamantly opposed on every occasion.
Probably because she's the maiden and she doesn't want to be the maiden. Oh. So personal choice of dreams versus what's good for the greater good. What's good for you versus what's good for the greater good. Okay. Interesting.
You sometimes catch glimpses of her face while she sleeps. Always it is contorted in anguish, as though she is in the throes of a terrible nightmare.
Wow. I guess the life of a maiden ain't exactly all that it's cracked up to be. Is it just me or does it look like she's like keeping her like... she's got her like bottom of coat at about like the breast level and the rest of it's like hanging over the back. Like that coat would probably fit her if she like actually like slipped it down and wore more normally. Whatever. I'm distracted.
You notice a bulky book lying open next to Laddie.
Laddie's picture book. Book that Laddie always carries carries close.
Filled with carefully drawn words and images. It seems to be some kind of picture book that Laddie made herself.
Interesting.
You know, I confess, I am a bit curious.
I am as well, but let's be good to the mute girl. Let's see what happens if we refrain.
You can't help but feel like you ought to refrain.
I knew
In
it!
the end, you cannot overcome your curiosity and decide to take a look at the picture book.
I knew it. The thing about this game, the series so far, is it seems like there isn't really any no decision will actually change the course of the game. All of them, it's like that interpretation of destiny that's like it's the fate you can't help but fall into. So no matter how much you try to change your fate, you'll always end up going that way. That sort of definition of fate, or that idea of fate and destiny. That's what these games are like.
Beside evocative images of deep forests and towering mountain ranges, Laddie has written a story patterned after the Maiden's myth.
Interesting.
The picture book story is set in a small village replete with nature.
Hold on, I might have to pause for a sec soon. Whatever.
The village enjoys the promise of peace and tranquility, thanks to the young woman born to be the Maiden.
Oh.
The Maiden goes before the altar to perform a ritual, which invokes the power of a great spirit to protect the village.
So I'm curious if the island will actually, like, sink if they don't have a maiden. I don't know.
You look over the artwork, a spitting recreation of the altar you saw in the spire, and think back on the mysterious voice.
Okay, I think she's gone. Let's go on.
The voice claimed it was a spirit, and you're certain it spoke Laddie's name.
Same, sir.
You were so caught up in the thoughts racing through your head that you failed to notice Laddie had awakened.
She won't be happy.
Laddie seems embarrassed that you've seen her book. Tears prick the corners of her eyes.
Okay.
If Laddie were indeed the Maiden, it would be no exaggeration to call her the very light of hope, a protective force that could save the island from its encroaching ruin.
Hopefully we can get her to talk. Because, yeah, I want to know why she doesn't want to do this. Is it too much pressure? Like, what's up?
With faint expectation tightening your chest, you consider taking her to the altar in the spire.
Ask her about it, see how she nods. Yep, speak with Lati again. Alright, a whale of a ship. That's a fun little grotto. I sort of like that the cards are a bit dark. It's like we're in a dark area, but you can't quite see that because we're on a card table. Anyway.
You've given Laddie some of the fruit you brought back. She dreamily stuffs some of it into her mouth. Maybe she likes it. You hope so.
I mean, depending on if you're seeing it as like dreamily, as in like, oh, this is always how I've wanted to see someone dive into a fruit basket, or if she's like doing it in a sort of like,
your stomach rumbles as you
can
watch
wait
her.
forever,
And together,
whatever.
the two of you enjoy a light meal.
Okay. Hey, she's joined a party. I guess we've tamed the wild mute girl. That's a bad way to put it. Lead Laddie to the spirit spire. So, I guess she's fine with it? Go out? Yeah, sure. Why not? Not like we have any choice. Okay. Yep, we need to sometimes do stuff. Yep. Stuff is a thing that we sometimes have to do. That's 'tis life, honestly. And especially games. Okay.
You take Laddie with you and return to the spire.
How does she react? Omega staff.
As you approach the entrance of the spire, the staff that Laddie clutches close begins to emit a faint light.
3 defense, 4 attack. That's a pretty decent...
Seeing the mysterious light, you are convinced Laddie has a deep connection to the spire.
Interesting. So she gonna be more like a tanky mage, sort of? Is that how her stats are gonna end up being? Cause that's a lot of defense. None of Melanie's staffs did that. She's the mage, or the witch, or the wizard, or the... let's just say mage. From the Isle Dragon Roars.
Her expression uneasy. Laddie takes hold of your sleeve with a tentative touch.
Interesting. Guide her to the altar. Alright. Let's take a look at her stats. Oh, she's much faster. Okay, never mind. So we're once again slow, but she's faster. Less defense. What, not yet. Skills. Hold on. So interesting that we don't have charge anymore, but interesting, so she can heal and just as magic strike. It's quite interesting. If I remember... the would-be hero had that skill before. Okay. Hopefully you could hear me through my hand. Okay. And... yep. Bop on over here. And as I said, I'm gonna try to keep these episodes like probably about 30 minutes. Keep them a lot shorter than my Legends Arceus videos. Hence why right now I'm doing... because I want to do a shorter video, that's why I'm doing Voice of Cards today. Okay. Altar.
You stand before the altar once more, bathed in an air of mysticism. The light emitting from Laddie's staff intensifies, as if indicating its destination.
Oh.
Excellent, Maiden.
In response to the enigmatic voice, Laddie's staff exudes a dazzling light.
Beware any dark types or dragon types. I don't know how that made any sense. Oh.
A spirit appears right before your eyes.
You puppet.
Well, maybe it's a spirit? It's some kind of strange stuffed animal.
It's... looks like a puppet to me, sir. I'll take a picture of it. Interesting enough.
I am the spirit. Cough, cough.
I cough,
The
cough.
stuffed toy seems to be affecting a voice of considerable gravitas and choking itself in the process.
Oh.
This creature is called Lack. Though you cannot be certain it speaks the truth,
True.
it claims to be a spirit.
Love that funny.
You approach, hoping to ask about the maiden. But with blinding speed, Lack zooms behind Laddie, putting her between you as a shield.
We did throw a sword at it. Whoops. Okay. That's quite interesting. Spirit's just hanging out in her coat.
You're the one from before, Lack says, quaking.
We didn't mean to throw the sword at you.
It would appear that you're mistaking the creature for a monster, and doggedly chasing after it has made it rather afraid of you.
I mean, we did throw a weapon at it, so... do you have anything you could use to make amends? Fruit, salve, or an iron sword. That increases defense now. If we give it a weapon that could kill us, if we give it fruit, that'd be more of an insult, I'm pretty sure, because it probably can't eat. And the medicine, I don't know if it's hurt. And plus, we know how the medicine's made. If this medicine is the same medicine as from the Isle Dragon Roars. So, let's give it a sword. Alright.
You're not sure what's going through your head as you lay your hand on your weapon. Lack quakes even worse than before, stammering. Well, what are you doing?
Oh, it doesn't like the sword, never mind. Okay, let's go with fruit. I don't think that'll do anything though.
You hold out an offer of reconciliation, and Lack takes it and immediately starts munching away. Between bites, it says, "You've got some good taste there."
Oh, okay, I guess spirits do eat, never mind.
You're not really sure if the make good worked out, but in any event, Lack looks willing to listen to you now.
We've tamed the puppet. Tamed a stray puppet.
You ask about the maiden once more, and Lack begins to talk a lot. It seems to enjoy doing so.
It is a puppet with flowers for eyes.
Just as the maiden's myth handed down amongst the denizens of the island suggests, it explains, Laddie was indeed born to be the maiden here.
Alright.
However, she was unable to take up her role. This has caused no small amount of distress over the island's inevitable destiny to sink beneath the raging waves.
What, does volcanism not exist here? Islands just sink without their, protector?
Lack concludes with a proposal. How's about you go and meet with the other maidens and fetch the maiden's relics?
Oh.
As you had hoped, Laddie appears to be the key to the island's salvation.
Alright. Ask about what they mean in other detail. Let's go with if Laddie becomes a maiden.
If Laddie becomes a maiden and performs the maiden's ritual at the altar, the island can be saved.
Yeah, but what's gonna happen to Laddie? I'm just curious. Let's go with the maiden's relics.
You ask, should we kill the maidens and steal the relics? Laddie shakes her head rapidly, as if to insist that you definitely should not do that.
Alright. Makes sense.
As Lack explains, each maiden has an attendant, an escort, and protector.
Oh,
This would make it difficult to take the relics by brute force.
I was actually saying the to the second sentence, but okay. Combat isn't much of a focus here then, okay.
This island is not the only one home to a spirit. There are islands throughout this archipelago, and upon each dwells one of the four maidens who
Oh, shit.
govern there. The self-proclaimed spirit explains that if you
Archipelagos
bring the
are always
maiden's
full of
relics
islands.
that each of these maidens possess back to this spire, Laddie will be able to become a maiden herself.
Interesting. Now, why doesn't she want to return to the village?
Laddie shows the staff in her hand, wearing an expression that seems to say, "This is a maiden's relic."
Ah. So we probably don't want to sell that, eh? Okay, how does an expression say that? I don't know.
The world-changing
I-
immensity of what you have just learned echoes in your mind. It takes you a little while to fully digest it.
Okay, I guess I'll take that. Sir, you know this means you get a fun adventure, right?
But it does just so happen you've been readying a seaworthy vessel for your own purposes.
Cool, can you tell us that yet?
You accept Lack's proposal to help Laddie become a maiden.
You know, the interesting thing about this is I'm guessing one of them's gonna become her attendant then. Which sort of means that if Yukion becomes the attendant, then Yukion won't be able to go in the high seas anymore, so that's probably not gonna... it's gonna depend on how the story rolls, I guess. Okay. We are at no lack of lacks anymore. That's good. Leave the tower.
So, you want me to poof you back to the entrance?
Yes! Leave immediately.
You decide to make for the spire's exit.
Cool. Okay. Turn to Omega Village. Alright. And on this bombshell, I think we'll end the episode. It's been 30 minutes, exactly right now. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope you enjoyed the episode. If you did, feel free to leave a like, and subscribe if you're new around here and enjoy my shenanigans. It would help to actually have more than 3 subscribers. Yeah, cliche, sort of, whatever. There's nothing else I have to say, so remember to not start to, I don't know, don't kill maidens of islands, and I don't know, and goodbye.